Hi everybody! Welcome to day 4 of Breath Technique Challenge. Today the breathing technique we're going to talk about is the one that we'll do together is one to help you sleep. So I know a lot of times everyone's got a different kind of trick or a different routine that they do in the evening time to allow them to really turn their brain off and get their body to sleep as well as like their brain to sleep. So this is a really cool breathing technique. Everybody has a different like time that they'll have to do the breathing technique for it to really work for them. So I'm not going to do it like totally long enough with us today because I don't want to put you to sleep in the middle of the day unless you need a nap. And in that case, you can, of course, continue to do the breathing technique on your own. But this is something that you really can use not only to get yourself asleep, but I know a lot of people have a hard time staying asleep. So if you're waking up in the middle of the night, I suggest that you go straight to this breathing technique. You know, you don't even have to move. You don't have to get out of bed. You just do the breathing technique and it usually will put you right back into sleep. So this is day 4 of Breath Technique Challenge. I hope that you have caught the previous 3 days. We've gone over breathing techniques for energy, for relaxation, and for effort, like if you're running or you just need that extra bit of energy. And today we're totally like flipping it down and shifting it down into sleep. So if you haven't already caught those videos, you can catch the replays in the description. Also, make sure if you want to join this challenge officially for your chance to win your seat into Breath Technique training, which is a 6-week online training that starts on August 16th. It's an $897 program, so if you want to win, make sure you also put your email address into the link in the description so you can officially enter. All right, so today we're doing a combination breath where it's going to be what's known as, it's a directional breath, so it's going to be a 2-part breath where we are trying to use the muscles of our pelvic floor along with the muscles of our abdominal cavity, our belly, to create different movement of the pressure that we're shifting of the volume of air in and out of our lungs. So I'm going to tell you to breathe into your pelvis. Hi, Helena or Helena. Thank you for joining. And then I'm also going to tell you to move air into your belly, but like the air isn't going into your pelvic floor and the air isn't going into your belly. You're manipulating the pressure of your abdominal cavity, which is going to manipulate the volume and the pressure of your thoracic cavity. So thinking of when I say breathe into your pelvis, I want you to allow your pelvic floor to expand and really relax. And this is where you can think of just like almost sitting deeper into your seat and just letting go. And when I say breathe into your belly, you're going to really relax your belly. So people who are really fit and have maybe like an 8-pack, a 6-pack, a 4-pack, they have a harder time really relaxing through their abdominal wall. So I want you to almost think of like you're not totally like pushing your belly into a pot belly, but that same kind of activity and movement of just really relaxing your belly out. Then when we go into the out breath, it's going to be a similar directional breath, but you're going to be contracting the muscles of your pelvic floor. So I want you to think of like if you had to go to the bathroom and you're like, oh man, there's not actually a bathroom in sight, you would start to contract and hold. And that's the movement that you're going to be doing when I say breathe out from your pelvis. So again, you're not moving any actual air in that area, but you're using the muscles there to move the air in a different way. So you'll contract the pelvic floor, and you'll even contract like below your belly button, like that front of your pelvis. Then you'll start to contract your belly muscle. So you'll start to pull your belly in and kind of even squeeze your lower ribs in so that you can contract your belly. This is also what's known as a Vishamavritti, the technique we're going to do today. So there's a couple different variables of the technique, and Vishamavritti means unequal ratio breath. So this is where our in breath, we're going to do 3 seconds in to the pelvis. We're then going to breathe in another 3 seconds into the belly. Then we're going to breathe 4 seconds out from the pelvis and 4 seconds out from the belly. So we're using a 2-part directional breath, but then we're technically breathing in for a total of 6 seconds and we're breathing out for a total of 8 seconds. And the reason we're doing this is that we want our exhalation to be a little longer than our inhalation, and that gives your heart rate a little bit more of a break and it will shift you hopefully into more of a parasympathetic state. So after that, the only other variable that you're going to add to this technique is what's known as ujjayi or ujjayi. And this is where we're taking our vocal cords and we're bringing them a little closer together to create more friction and more restriction through the airflow. So a lot of times if you take yoga classes, you'll hear people say, constrict the back of your throat or constrict your glottis. Your glottis is actually not a physical thing. It just means the opening in between your vocal cords. Your epiglottis is a physical thing that makes sure you don't, inhale your lunch. But when you hear that cue, a lot of times people don't know what that actually means. So I want you to imagine your vocal cords just as like two pieces of string coming closer together, or two, pieces of tissue just kind of like coming close together or coming apart. So if it's really open, that means I can get like a big breath out. If it's a lot closer together, you can hear that noise, that friction. It creates a little bit more resistance. I also kind of liken it to if you put your thumb over a hose, it like makes the air or the water flow act a little differently. So think of it like that. All right, so we're doing 2-part directional breath, pelvis and belly. It's going to be a Vishamavritti. It's going to be a total of 6 seconds in, 8 seconds out. And if you can, try to get that Ujjayi, also known as maybe like an ocean's breath or a Darth Vader breath. So I'm going to recommend that you can do this seated or laying down. So if you really want to feel the effects, you can start to allow your body to set up on your back. And whenever you do breathing techniques on your back, it feels really good to put something under your knees just to create a little less low pressure. And then as you're getting set up, if you have any questions beforehand, now's the time to kind of pop them in the comments so I can see them. If you just want to say hi, give me a wave, say hello. Oh, hi, everybody. Oh, I see Yama. I see Adam. Oh, the collective is here. Yay. And then also know that I'm going to hang out for just a few minutes afterwards too. So if you have any questions, if you want to share how the breathing technique gives you any different effects, definitely let me know. All right, so as you're getting your body set up, the most important part of anytime we're doing a breathing technique is that your body is set up in a way that it's not going to distract you from the breath. So sometimes we're really uncomfortable in a seat or laying down. So do as many fidgets, as many readjustments as you need to get your body in that place where you can just focus on the breathing technique. And once you're there, if you're comfortable with it, allow your eyes to start to close. See if you can soften a little more through your jaw, creating space in between your teeth, even allowing your tongue to go off of the roof of your mouth. Yay! Hello, hello. Yeah. And then just start to really relax. See if you can lean back either in your seat or onto the floor a little more, or whatever it is that you're supported on. Mm-hmm. And then if you're not used to doing these directional breaths, especially using the pelvic floor, I want you to take a hand below your belly button, right in between your hip points, and your other hand right over your belly button onto your tummy. And then we're going to start together. So you'll do a reset breath. That means purse your lips, blow all the breath out. Pause the breath there, take a swallow. Flare your nose, take a big deep breath in. Get an extra sniff at the top. And just release a sigh. Perfect. Now use your nose. Find that Ujjayi breath. Breathe into your pelvic floor for 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing into your belly for 3, 2, 1. Exhale from your pelvic floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale from your belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale pelvic floor. 3, 2, 1. Inhale belly. 3, 2, 1. Exhale pelvic floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it going. Inhale pelvic floor. Inhale belly. Exhale pelvic floor. Exhale belly. Inhale pelvis. Inhale belly. Exhale pelvis. Exhale belly. Inhale pelvis. Inhale belly. Exhale pelvis. Exhale belly. Inhale pelvis. Inhale belly. Exhale, pelvis. Exhale, belly. Wherever you are, just take a long, deep breath in. Pause the breath at the top, take a swallow. Purse your lips, blow the breath out as gently, as slowly, as quietly as you can. Take one more breath in when you're ready. And just release a really gentle sigh. So if you feel a downshift, and if you want more of that downshift, I invite you to just stay where you are and continue that breathing technique. Again, this is something that is going to affect everyone differently in the sense of the length that you need. So if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I like to liken breathing techniques to prescriptions. So everybody needs a different dosage. Everybody needs a different schedule. So allow yourself to really notice how much of the breathing technique you want to continue with, and then that way it'll pull you a little deeper into that parasympathetic, where your whole body chemistry and your nervous system are working to help you kind of shut down, or at least turn down the volume of all, you know, the cacophony of stuff that's going on and all the signaling and all the communication that your body's doing. So if you tried this breathing technique with me and if it worked, if you felt like a little bit of a downshift, let me know. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to pop them in the comments. I'd love to answer them as best as I can. Chelsea says, so lovely, such a peaceful feeling only after a few breaths. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chelsea. And that's like the coolest part, right? Is like, we didn't even do that for a very long time. Now, what I usually do when I'm having a really hard time falling asleep is I'll actually make sure, oh, this is Correa, this is my puppy. I'll actually make sure that I'm doing it for about 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm not timing it again because I'm trying to fall asleep and I'm giving myself just that momentum of giving into the breath and giving into the breathing technique. So also don't force it in the sense of making sure you do it for so long. It's more about feeling, especially with this technique. And then that way too, you'll kind of notice like your body will almost just take over. It's like setting momentum or setting a pace of a song. And then all of a sudden it just kind of carries itself into that breathing technique, which is really cool. And then eventually when your body's ready to really shut down, you'll just go into a natural sleepy breath. So Steph J says, this was my first time joining the daily challenge. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it and so relaxed. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Sincerely appreciate you trying it out and breathing. And I know a lot of you, like we might know each other personally, or we might have met in classes before, or different breathing. And I know some of us, like, we've never met before. So if you don't know me, like, my full passion is breathing and breathing techniques. And this is because it's helped me so much. There's been so many nights where I'm like, oh man, like I was a self-diagnosed insomniac. And I was like, there's no way I'm ever gonna fall asleep. And once I started finding these breathing techniques, not only was I able to sleep better, but I was able to have less anxiety, less depression. I was able to run better and perform better. And I just felt like I was really, you know, my better self. So it really helped. Awesome. Adam says, feeling calm and started yawning. Perfect. Yes, that's actually a part of your brain called the precuneus. And this is really cool because it sets up a different communication through the deliverance of oxygen and also for your focus as well. So that's a real cool part of the brain that we're triggering. Oh, thank you so much, Black Yoga Mom. And I'm just so glad you guys are breathing with me. So remember, I'm going live again tomorrow, and tomorrow's breathing technique is for focus. So if you're like me and you're like, oh, you know, I just want to do the thing and I got to do this thing and I got to do that thing. You're like, wait a minute, I'm never going to do any of the things if I don't just focus on one thing. So I use a breathing technique for focus. And the one that we're going to do tomorrow is like my go-to. I do it probably once or twice or 3 times a day, but definitely daily because I typically need it. And it works awesome. And then Saturday, we're going to do our last breathing technique together. And then Monday, we'll announce the winner. So remember, if you want to officially enter, you can pop your email address into the link in the description. And if you want to watch the replays are also on the link in the description. Thank you so much, everybody, for breathing with me today. And I look forward to breathing with you again tomorrow at noon. Bye.